If you have seen probably more than a handful of my videos, you know that I like me some fire. I like ways to start fire. I like building fires. I like looking at fires. I like cooking on fires. I like fire. And I think the ability to start a fire is one of the most important skills you can have certainly in a survival situation, but I think just in general life, it's always handy to know how to start a fire. So I'm always looking for cool ways to start a fire. One of the things that a lot of people have recommended in a lot of different survival manuals and books and everything else, these little magnesium fire starters. So what I thought I would do is pick up a really cheap one. This one came from Harbor Freight, and just see, this is like $2.50. So we're just going to see how handy this thing is and how well it really works. And that's what we're going to do coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So as I said, picked up this $2.50 magnesium fire starter from Harbor Freight. They're available all over the place. These things are on Amazon. You can get these all over. They're not just Harbor Freight. But this was about the cheapest one I could find, so I thought I would just go ahead. I know the military, I think, issues like domes or something, and they're a little more expensive than this. But just want to go with a super cheap one and just see how well it works. Now, as you can see, this one's already been scraped on because yesterday I made this video already. And I'm not going to tell you how it turned out. You got to watch this one to see. But had no audio. My microphone punked out. So we're going to do this one again. In the words of one of my favorite movie characters, we're going to endeavor to persevere. So anyway, we're going to take you down to the old stump top with no more rambling now, and we're going to see if we can get us a fire going with this $2.50 fire starter. But first, a quick word from one of our sponsors. This video is sponsored by my friends at Click Belt. The Click Belt I'm wearing today is my 2-ply tactical duty belt. And I've been wearing this for a couple of years, and as you can see, it still looks very nice and supports my Glock 19 very well. So I encourage you to check out our friends at Click Belt. There'll be a link in the description below, and probably one right up here. Tell them Brian said hello. Okay, so here we are, and here's the package this thing came in. You can see it's kind of beat up. I've been waiting to make this video for literally probably a couple of years. One thing is always important for any kind of fire going is prep. So I've carved off a few curls here. I've got a couple things here. The premise in this is that you're going to scrape off some of this magnesium. You're going to scrape it into a powder, and then you're going to use the ferro rod here to light it and spark it. And if you saw a video I did not too long ago by the Boss fire kits, they had little capsules, like, you know, pill capsules with magnesium powder in them, and that stuff worked great. So magnesium burns at like 5,400 degrees or something crazy, really, really hot. My question about this thing was, you can see is covered, this little kind of a hacksaw blade scraper is covered in enamel, so it wasn't very, didn't seem to be very sharp. But you see we scraped that little bit right there off. So we'll try to do it on the other corner, get about the same amount. I'm not going to tell you again whether or not that worked or not, but you're going to have to guess for yourself. But let's just go ahead and start scraping. So the idea is that you just start scraping magnesium powder off this thing, right? And I think the corner is easier to scrape, and it's really good to have something to scrape it onto, like a stump top or whatever. But if you're in a survival situation, you're probably not going to have a stump in the middle of the woods, maybe. But maybe you can find a stick or just or your hat or a neckerchief or something like that. You know, a bandana. Take your shirt off, just something to catch it, because you want to, you know, if you just do this on the ground, you're going to wind up not having a very, very good, successful fire starting episode, I would think. We want to make a pretty good little pile, and I look at this as like I tell my Boy Scouts when they're trying to gather up wood to build a fire, and I'm teaching them how to build fires. When you think you have enough, go ahead and get about 2 or 3 times that, because it's better to have too much and spend a little more time on the prep. Everybody's in such a hurry always to get that flame, and then if you don't have the prep done, you don't have enough, then it's almost, you know, you can get the flame and still not have a fire because it goes out on you. So we're gonna keep scraping a little more on here, and I'm not gonna fast forward this or anything. I'm just gonna ramble on through it so you can see exactly how long it took to scrape this, and so there won't be any, you know, any kind of monkey business here. We're gonna do an actual real-time scraping, so to speak, so you can see how much time it would take you to scrape this off with just a piece of, just this little piece of hacksaw. Nothing fancy. No, I'm sure with like a really sharp spine knife, it would probably do a lot better, scrape a lot faster. One thing I will say is I've noticed that right here I kind of created a little shoulder that's kind of in the way, but kind of stops me. We're gonna give it a little more scraping here. This seems to be scraping pretty good, so it's really doing better than I thought it would as far as scraping goes. So we'll get, okay, we're gonna call this good. I think so. That's the best. That's, you know, all the books I've read say to get a 1 1/4 size pile. I say more is better, so I'm gonna get a little more. A little more. All right, so you got mostly dust, a few little curls of magnesium, which are going to probably burn a little stronger. And what I would do, I'm going to take this and get it really ready, because once this stuff starts burning, it's going to burn really, really fast. So you want to have your actual fire material really close to it. Just whatever tinder you would use for a regular fire, no matter, you know, to start a fire starting tinder. And we'll take the ferro rod, I'm going to put it down here, and we're going to scrape. Okay, you're watching this. Here we go. And here we go. Let me get this fire going. Put a pine cone on it too, just for the fun of it. Maybe another pine cone. It's actually got the curls going pretty good though, so I gotta say, pretty stinking good for $2.50. That's not too shabby, not too shabby at all. Okay, well. Is that a little crow sticking out of my mouth? Because I got to say, I was a little skeptical. I just wasn't sure that this was going to work very well. It's $2.50, and you saw that one fire, how much is left. So I think literally there could be hundreds of fires in this thing. And it didn't take but a couple of strikes on the ferro rod. So I got to say, I'm going to eat my words on that one. I didn't, or at least eat my thoughts. I don't think I spoke those words, but I did think them. And I'll go ahead and admit that I just didn't think this was going to work very well, and it made a believer out of me. So I think these little magnesium bars are going to wind up being in my survival kits now. 5,400 degrees, you can really get some stuff kind of burning. And if it was damp or wet, you know, you could certainly, it took me 3 or 4 minutes to scrape this. So if you want to spend another 10 or 15 minutes, you can probably get a really good pile and really get some wetter material going. So I got to say, pretty good job for the $2.50 magnesium survival fire starter bar thingy. So so I hope this has been helpful. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a new video every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes random ones throughout the week. There's another one right there. If you're not subscribed, you can click in the corner, click that subscribe button, that little notification bell, all that good stuff. You won't miss a video. Be sure and check out the sponsor list in the channel description. I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.